In this new episode of Beyond the Boardroom, we will meet a man who epitomizes the rags to riches story. He left his home in China at age 11 and landed in Pampanga, just outside the former Clark Air Force Base, almost poetically to build his own version of the American dream. At his Uncle Johnny's supermarket in Angeles City, Dennis Anthony Uy started a life journey, one that he never imagined but is truly grateful for. I am your host, Chris Larano. Join me as we listen to the plans, views, stories that inspire and drive Dennis Anthony Uy in and beyond the boardroom. Good morning, Sir Dennis. Thank you for allowing Context.ph to interview you on this weekend. We'll basically discuss your life, the, the days when you were still struggling, and now that you're, should I call you a billionaire now?
Thank you, Eric, for having me. And thank you for this opportunity also.
Okay. Sir, let's go first to your life story. You were, what, 11 years old when you came to the Philippines. Could you tell us uh, the life you were spending in Fujian province, right? How was life there before before the family decided to emigrate to the Philippines?
I think during that time, 1978, is early, that's a cultural revolution. No? So China at that time is really hardship. Now you can see it's all controlled by the government. No? So even the food is allocation also during that early days. So they provide you education, but life, I tell you, compared to other countries, is really behind. No? And that's under communist regime. No? So, and my uncles already in Pampanga, and they maybe my parents they decided to ask my uncle to petition us out to uplift our living standard.
Well, so when you arrived, basically, you came from a communist country, came to the Philippines, just right beside the American bases. So what was that? It's like starting and building your own version of the American dream in Pampanga.
Well, that's usually even the old days of Chinese, no, they came to the Philippines. They really want to have a on dream to become a better future. No? So you can see a lot of Taipans already in the Philippines. All of them from China, usually, especially from Fujian provinces, right?
Yeah, I heard that it's just one boat ride away to the Philippines.
That's true. Because we had the coastal road, coastal shore between the Philippines and in Fujian. Actually, this is just only beside Taiwan. It's, it's very near. If you're talking about by early days, by ship, it took you at least 4 days or 5 days you reach here already. Yeah.
So, paano yung goodbye, sir? Nung umalis kayo, una mo nang umalis is your father and your kuya, di ba? Hindi naman kayo sabay-sabay.
No. I think actually my grandpa is already died in Philippines early days, no. And then my uncle established already business here. In 75, I think 3 years earlier than me, my dad and my elder brother Jack came to Philippines first. And maybe they just because we are that young that time. My dad want to see what is the opportunity we can if he will take out the whole family to out to China. No?
When you came into the Philippines, you don't know, you just spoke Chinese.
Zero. With no English, no read English, no Filipino languages, just only fluent Chinese.
Fujian.
Yeah.
So, how was life like when you arrived in Pampanga?
Well, luckily because I have an uncle with a supermarket here. So when we come here, so normally you need to help the business. So the life here is compared to China is better because you have at least you have 3 meals a day here, and you have a better education here. So when we come here, my uncle put me right away after 2 to 3 days of stay in give us assignment where we're going to stay. He bring me immediately right away to mingle with the public school students already. He enrolled me in Santo Rosario Elementary School. I still remember. so,
So talagang wala kang, paano kayo, you can't even speak a single word of English
No.
or Tagalog.
No.
So how did you cope?
So, you know, when you, that young age, no? So, slowly, every day, that's good thing you, no choice, because you surrounded all new environment, and you're forced to learn. Especially, I learned Kapampangan first before Tagalog. Because it's locally, all my uncle workers, they're all Kapampangan. That's why, until now,
Sige nga sir, magsalita ka nga na Kapampangan.
my Kapampangan is more fluent.
Tayo naririnig naman kita magsalita ng Tagalog, but
Yeah.
batiin mo sila.
Kapampangan is already in my heart, in my brain, because that's my use practice already in local language.
Mhm. Tapos then you started working na at a tender age. When did you start?
So when I just need to work the multiple functions, no? So at 11, so you know we because supermarket, you can see that time there's no aircon yet, no? So there's a lot of flies. So I need to do run all these flies. That's only easy job to me, right? So aside from that, I need to help take care of the door during the night, because the family of my uncle, they stay in the same store in the ground floor, and they stay in the 4th and 5th floor. So usually on my cousins, they going in and out. They want to make sure someone trusted in hold the key, because that's entry of the stores, no? So they have 11 siblings. So usually every night they go out in and out. The keys with me, I need to open. So I got more interest to like a maintenance, because the supermarket, you have a maintenance group. What they're doing is every day they maintain the walking freezer, they maintain the utilities and everything. I got interest, so I got amazed, and so I stay in the maintenance group, starting there. Then after that, during a lot of free time, I enrolled aircon refrigeration on that vocational course to match my knowledge. Then, you know, when early days, all the supermarket my uncle they have video games. You can see the Galaxy and Pac-Man. You drop the coins.
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
So that got my interest also, because the circuit board, you just replace the chipset, the ROM, it's become different programs. So I learned how to fix these things and sometimes the coin is stuck in the middle. The machine will not use. You need to open it, then fix everything to let the client use. So from there, I got my interest towards that vocation. Yeah.
So when you went to college, you took up what?
I took my in college in electrical engineering in Holianjet.
But
In between this, nag-start ka na rin ng sariling business, di ba? You went to San Juan to...
When I think early 80s, 83, we came in 78, 83. That's almost 5 years. We started a small business. This is video rental. Because during that time, there's a lot of balikbayan or this OFW. Saudi Arabia is the most famous that time because they need a lot of Filipinos. Even the manager of my uncle's supermarket was pirated in Saudi. He become a general manager of one of the supermarket. So they pull out a lot of talent in this area. So when they come back, they bring a lot of tapes, video tapes. So we got interest and we started, few tapes, 11 or 12 tapes and one machine or two machines. Then we asked my uncle permission to put the video rental
Just
in the supermarket itself.
inside Johnny's.
Inside Janice. That's we start. That's we call that Jack's Video. That's under the name of my kuya. Yeah.
So after that, so when did you, because you're already in video, so it's not a big jump going to cable.
No, the video took us a while, no, because regulation is not came out like 36. Regulation came out after it's a revolution when Tita Cory became our president. Then we government put a called Video Regulatory Board. So that's almost 89, 90. They came out 80, 86, 87, 88.
The optical media board.
Optical media, BRB. So the first, I still remember, General Carbonell is the head of the BRB. Because when the piracy required by US, they rate all this video recopying, right?
Na-raid yung
Yes,
pinagkukuhanan mo.
all of them, even in Green Hills. And when the video, that's why I always there, because after my high school days, I waiting the production master copy to bring it here to recopy, and then I can rent it out to the community here. And that time is very good, because during that time, America still presents. During weekends, these people, they rent is like 20 or 30 tapes, and because they say, going back to base to watch these movies. No? So the business quite went to at least 90, before Pinatubo.
The one, the
Pinatubo.
1990s.
Took at least 83.
Before they left, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you,
What brought you to cable TV?
I saw the technology already, because when I'm personally, that's why I learned about, during the high school days, no, I have spare time, I went to vocational course. I learned the computer programming. These are only short courses. I have electronics. I have GRCO during radio code before, during the transmission codes. So all available of, in the vocational is interest me to learn. So I went to that school. Even the programming, I entered to the CSSI in the computer here. Become a COBOL, fax, that DOS-based time, no? And I become a programmer also on that stage.
Basically telling your age.
Yes. And imagine when see that opportunity, I personally repaired the Betamax, because it's level 1, level 2, sometimes they just only need to clean the video heads, because the tape is in the shelves. Sometimes they get the dust. So when the video head got dirty, the video become that trouble. You need to clean up. So that basic trouble or flashing, I can adjust. Some power supply, because some machines are bought from US. They ROM plug it to 220. I can fix this. These basic things, no? So the high level troubles, I need to bring it to Green Hills. There's a lot of specialized brands, no, called JVC. Japan,
Video Corporation.
yes, is located in Pasay Road. So that's a service center. It's owned by Attorney Salud. Okay, so I need to bring specialized this machine to repair in the service center, because I don't have this kind of parts. The basic I can do it, but in terms of deeper. So one day I saw the TV there, because I have a good relationship with the technician already. I enter with what the fixing area. So many channels on the TV. So that's 80, 90, 90. So I asked them, why you have this TV, so many channels here? And they told me that's a cable. So that is a Cinema Kulay.
yeah,
Okay?
I remember
So
that channel.
they are subscriber. I got amazed. I said, my province before, during the American days, we just have a FEN. But we don't have that much channels, right? So I said, this is interesting. And I saw there's HBO, there's ESPN, there's a CNN. Oh, this is might kill the
television.
the BCR, no? So that's another journey. So I got interest to find out where's this supplier and who this company is. So I went to San Juan, the main operation center. I researched them, who are the owners.
The CCTV.
No, the cable TV stations.
The one near Wilson.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the head office before. And then I met Leo San Miguel there, and one of the technicians. So they explained to me who's the supplier, how you can do this. So finally, I got my license here in this area in that early days, 91, 92, yeah.
And that started the cable. How many subscribers did you have? And eventually, what clicked again?
Actually, do you know that time cable days, it's not cheap. It's very expensive. To able to install household, this cost you almost 2,000 pesos, 2,005. So I think that start me to roll out the cable. And personally, I want to learn because I have technical background already. And we open also the appliances store, which is my family started. First baker I still remember Tamarao. So I need to create a something like the truck pulling, so I can pull some wheels, the cables, and other rack. So that's only vehicle we have. Yeah, installation. I'm the one personally climbing the pole to fix with my few people. Yeah.
And it obviously it proved successful, di ba? Dahil it eventually led you to buy. When you were buying other cable companies, nasa isip niyo na ba yung later on you'd be doing this, which we now have, Converge?
Yes, because that is the footprint already connected to the homes, no. So eventually the technology will change, right? So you can see from tape. Could you imagine Betamax now? You can have fingertips. You have Netflix already. That's the cloud already. Transition, all these things took you 3 decades before we become that, right? So during that time, if I ask that, is if you're thinking why I should go expand areas. After Pinatubo, I think 95, 96, I started using the fiber optic, the first, and I still remember the fiber is so expensive, $8 to $9 a meter. So now it's centavos as of today. So I need to link between Clark to Angeles because the more cascade amplifier you have, the more quality of signals noise at the end is very bad. So you put the fiber, the quality is keeping a lot better. So the technology is already using the backbone and transmission of the fiber. I'm thinking to take over some surrounded in this area, Central Luzon. So that's why the acquisition came in. The first acquisition I have is in Babalacat. Next of Angeles City, the company called Prosat. I still remember that, I bought that less than 4 million or 4 or 5 million pesos. In fact, before I got this cable, I sold out all my cable, all my Betamax tapes and 500 machines to Tarlac and Nueva Ecija, outskirt.
So that you could
I get starting money there, almost 3 million from starting this cable lamp.
What's that enough to?
Not enough, but you need to roll it. At least you have head end, you have infrastructure, few amplifiers, and you can distribute, you get installation money from customer, and you roll it again.
Then eventually you had the vision for
Converge.
The Converge came when the technology cable become a cable internet. Before cable internet came in, I entered to the dial-up first. You still remember the modem is so noisy, 28.8, 56. So I partnered with PLDT Brains. I started with Clark Telecom owned by PLDT. So I interconnect with them, and using a few machines I installed in the nodes and using the facilities, I reaching nationwide that time. That's called Instanet.
yeah, I remember. I
Instanet
remember
prepaid.
Instanet, a small one with it.
100 pesos, you have 4 hours before, right? So that's I started. And then I see because of the optics available and internet came early days is called proprietary DOCSIS. So we still have a lot of retired foreign Americans or this European foreigner here. I still remember the modem I sell it is $300 upfront. They need to pay. My subscription that time is like 5,000 pesos a month. That's because that high-speed internet. That's very expensive before.
What made you decide to go public?
I make the whole plan already. By that time, I'm not that big. I think still below 100,000 subscribers. But my revenue is close to $1 billion already from this operation of Central Luzon and Metro Manila. In fact, when I came to Metro Manila, I have a partnership with Destiny Cable. So Destiny, the arena team is my ninang. So because I have a technology, I tell them I will improve you cable internet to consumer. In fact, they are the first cable internet. They're more advanced than Sky before in terms of internet service. So they have infrastructure, they have excess fiber. What I'm asked them is, let me support you in your consumer technology and excess of the fiber. Let's go to the enterprise and we have revenue share. Because during that time, it's not easy to come to Metro Manila. Because there's a big giant overwatching you. When you step in my line, it's not easy to come that huge market. So that's my stepping stone, come to Metro Manila with Destiny Cable. In fact, before we decided to massive rollout in Metro Manila, we have a corporate base already. That's the reason we came into Manila.
So that decision came and then right before the pandemic, you got listed. Or even
Yes, actually the pandemic. Actually, before pandemic, I do some exercise because I understand this industry, you need a huge capex. When we roll out the whole plan at 2016-17, I know if I'm going to maximize the whole country, I need minimum $2 billion capex to maximize roll out the whole Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, including subsea cable, including the backbone distribution. That's minimum requirement because we have close to 25 million homes and 100 million populations. So you imagine how much revenue I have. I just have only one B gross during that time. So I need to looking some private equity want to come to me. And I do a lot of exercise like fashion show to these investors to make sure I can get the best talent and best benefit for the company. Technology-wise, because I'm there. Luck for me during that time is the professionalize the company. Yeah, they have a. I need someone like have track record from the outside. In fact, Robert flew in CEO of Deutsche Telekom to meet me because Deutsche Telekom is the investor. So when the CEO of Deutsche Telekom came to me, we are discussing about the cable industry. He's also from cable industry. So what we are talking about technology, almost the same the direction what I want. So I got chemistry with that guy. So I said, okay, we understand each other very well. So that they decided to come Converge. In fact, we got $225 million from Robert. That's, I think, 2019. And then we massively rolling out that infrastructure because we have got capital already. And who thought pandemic will strike us?
But the pandemic was actually a blessing in disguise for you guys.
But it's not easy, right?
Yeah, I know.
It's very challenging.
but that was a great,
timing.
Great timing for everyone because that allowed people to, diba?
Yes.
to use more internet.
And good thing, the money came here before the pandemic. And we maximized rollout the infrastructure. I think that's already, we are not reaching beside that, but the plan of the subsidy is already there. I think that one is, the lot is already acquired, so more than 200 hectares.
200 hectares.
Yeah. We're in the middle of conversion of the property. I just have a courtesy call with DAR, and in fact, and this is we bring the economic development for my hometown in Angeles, because I'm thinking of these young people, new graduates. We should give them a long future, have an ecosystem for the technology segments, because nowadays you can see these young graduates, they don't have any opportunity, very small opportunity. Mostly all these younger, they want looking outside because we don't have ecosystem. So if you set up from infrastructure, from software, from R&D and everything you put them in one ecosystem, and that's long-term infrastructure for the people here. I think this should be not below a billion US.
A billion US.
Yeah, and should be have a strong partners from outside.
Will this be under Converge or
No,
just under the...
No, this should be separate, because this is totally different from Converge. Converge is a broadband services, like platform or data center, but this one is more in training institute, R&D, software house, with so many talented like animation, gaming development. I want to put them in together. And I will put up the biggest data center. And this is becoming a hyperscaler. Yeah, and I invested all this cable. I will put the digital infrastructure also inside. So there's an anchor tenant already. And I'm going to put the satellite hub for the Asia. So all the satellite operator, you can put a satellite operation here. So you bring them here.
So how quickly can we realize this Silicon Valley dream?
The master plan is ongoing. Hopefully by 6-7 months, it's come out. Yeah.
And then when do we first see land development and...
I
first buildings.
think next year we will start already. Yeah. And actually the access road right now is developing. This is part of the circumferential road of the Regional Development Council passed to the property itself. I'm just only getting some government approval to make sure I can have access with the index itself.
So will you have partners in this one?
I just waiting all this master plan develop, everything done, government license, economic zone papers, everything. Then once all this done, that's the time I'm going to roadshow. I'm not rushing. I just give you a background among Asian countries. Vietnam home connected fiber broadband is almost 55% household. Thailand is another one, almost close to 40%. First world country, Korea and Hong Kong, Singapore, they are almost 100%.
Wired.
Yeah, white. Okay, that's because they are first world country, right? In our country, we have 25 million homes. As of today, I tell you, in fiber connected to home, not even 6 million. Okay, so percentage-wise, so you're not hitting at 20%. So we mentioned that if you reach almost 20-30%, you should understand our market segments. We should understand our country is not comparable to Singapore, Korea, because the middle class is 90%. Affordability issue is very concerned here. You have segment of middle class and poorest of the poor. And the access to the digital now is not essential anymore. It's a right. So you can notice, even at your house, if you have kids, losing internet connection. What happened to your kids? Right? Because everyone is already connected in the world. Social media network, research, video, everything is already... Filipinos are using internet average 7 to 10 hours a day. We are the highest among the world. 10 hours. Kasi pagising mo, cellphone, hinahanap mo na yung social media. So, imagine, include nowadays, because our ages in Philippines is so young. We are average on 26. And Filipino are tech-savvy. Even 4 years old, 5 years old, they know how to touch all this gadget now because they grew up with digital age. We need to address the affordability issue. Why mobile data? 95% are prepaid. Because affordability issue. So, fiber, what we have in the industry today is, you are only touching one segment of the market. Those who A, B, and C, C1 can afford. How about the D and E and F? This is with that over. This is will have an issue. So we need to create a product they can afford and suitable to them, which is what I'm doing right now.
So, we're talking about some
1,000 peso packages.
Below. And prepaid also. So when the money come weekly, you can load by weekly. In worst scenario, you want a day, you can load a day. So good thing in this technology now, I think, I went to, just last week, to Mangahan Flightway, to this, the area of poorest of the poor. And I interview few my customers. And I want to hear from them what is their satisfaction, how much they can spending. So they loading only weekly basis because one of my customers is the vendor of banana queue. And she have a mother at 81 years old. She have another nephew have autistic. So before they loading in mobile data, at this, because they have data cap, that's the problem. He's spending at least every day load, but if suma total, if make them together, it's more expensive. They're spending like 1,500 pesos. Because that autistic kid want to see the video live to keep him calm. So if they move that video, nagwawala. So finally, they thought we have sales in the area. They thought my product is a scam. They couldn't believe this kind of product. So finally, we offer at 700 pesos. And what's the good thing here is no data cap. You have 6 gadget access. All of one have access. And if you suma total, you compute it, he told me he can save almost 700 pesos a month. So they can have by, meron na silang pambili ng bigas. Yes. So we need to create this product to able touch. And in fact, that community, this span of short of period of time, I have 300 subscribers already. That fast. In fact, that day when I visited, our port is full. I asked my engineer to put right away. That day we got 5 subscribers right away, because the people, if they really love your product and they experience your product best, word of mouth is the best marketing, and the one they will chasing you to be installed. No? So we went to that level already.
There's also news that you have decided to reduce your capex for this year.
Yes.
So does that jibe with your efforts to get more subscribers?
The capex, when we front-loaded past 2 to 3 years, because 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, these 5 years, we spent massively on front. In fact, we're reaching 8 million ports already in entire country. That's times 2, that's 16 million home pass. So that's almost close to 60% of the home pass network in the entire country.
More than your target for 20.
More than my target already. So now, our capex, because backbone is there, submarine is there, everything, redundancy is there, just only the niche market. When this area is not there, we just extend. So unlike before, massive deal, you need to build the whole capex and huge. We're reaching that point already. In fact, luckily, we built ahead than we build now, because
Interest rates are
interest is high. The materials just went up also because of the foreign exchange and the shortage of the chipset last year.
really?
Yes, because we have issue with the logistic issue in China because of the trade war. The shipping took you now it's unlike before. You can ship the materials very quick, but now backlog is like 6-7 months. Supply chain is another issue. Yeah. We are before I came to for the fiber, we have already bundled services. Now, because we want to transform the cable to the internet protocol technology. That's why I'm telling the transition of the technology is so important and the right time when you're going to change. This year, all my existing cable subscribers, we still have 2 to 300,000 home connected with the cable. We will migrate them, all of them, to the IP platform. So all this traditional coax no more, power supply no more. Coax is still copper. So cable box no more. We're going to give them either IPTV or OTT.
So it's IPTV now.
Yes.
So how?
How do you expect the reception? Will there be more? Do you expect more subscribers to come into your service? Or
Well, I think the trend, no, it depends how you position your product and position your contents. With as of today, I have close to 2 million home connected already. If I positioning my product like signing with the content provider now in the Philippines, especially those local TV, if I can help them bring this content to the eyeball homes, they're so happy for you because right away I have 2 million connected times 5 viewers at home. That's 10 million viewers without cost to them because I can attach the content like local channel. They're free to air. And there's a lot of free content in the air. We bundle them and this deliver to my 2 million subscribers
So you just
without
basically-
cost.
Yeah, you're just basically creating the platform
Yes.
for them to
Yes.
air their
Then,
content.
if on top of this 2 million distributed access to my platform already, I can now partner with Chatter. New came up with the video. They can order by video on demand. Okay?
Tiers.
Yes. You can also want to do concert. You can order on demand concert. You don't need to go to because the network's already spread all over the country. If you're from Mindanao, the concert is Manila, they just order the concert live in the TV. And the future, you have virtual reality. You can see with the soundtrack like you are in the presence of concert hall. So this is technology coming because we have digital connected to the homes. On top of digital connected, we can have value-added service on top of it. That's we going next evolution. Yeah.
but what about creating your own content? There's no plan there.
Creating my own content, that's different line of business. I don't think that's my forte. I will let someone to create a platform to me, and I will let them write on my platform.
There was mention of Starlink there.
You know, the country entire business right now, SME, enterprise, even government, compared to the first world country, the digital transformation, we really behind. So now it's coming. Luckily, we have that 110 million population. Our demand is so big. Data center future is coming up. But challenge here is the power. Our power is very costly compared to Asian countries. But hopefully by this year, we have a small 2 megawatt, 3 megawatt, sizable, continue expanding the data center. In fact, we have one coming up in this area, and we have one in Quezon City, and one hopefully in Cebu also. So this is will launch soon.
So how big an investment are you putting into these data centers, and how big of a business will they be contributing to Converge itself?
You know, the data center is when you have a telco operations, you can do edge computing, bring the content to near the consumer, to our nodes. In fact, the whole country I have 400 nodes. Nowadays, if you're going to build a small scale data center, better scattered to where the customer is because of the customer experience. Imagine you have a cache within the certain community, your cache is a community, then you put one in the big one. The experience is better. No? So we are looking that approach. Yeah. So we have trying that already because you can see now how sensitive the gaming are. They want to have low latency. So the more, yes, you see the video content of the high quality video, 8K coming out, the good quality, they have, because if 8K is so sensitive, they need low latency, high bandwidth. So you need to study earlier, so how can spread the data center. But you need to hyperscaler also. The hyperscaler is bring all this big content to you, and then you spread to the small ones. That is the best design in the data center. Not necessarily you put big ones. For my operator, and how you can earn money, a lot. Because localized, you need to help our businessman, SME enterprise, to transform. How you can do? You need to provide them a solutions, cloud, to localize, so they will become your tenants.
So how much will it cost you to build one of those small ones?
I think small ones like $1 to $2 million. It's not really big.
That includes the power.
Yeah. You know, in data center, you can build that. It's containerized. In 2 weeks, you can build. In 2 weeks. Once your land preparation is ready, in 2 weeks, you can, like a Lego puzzle. You can build 80 racks already right away.
Okay. And then how big of a contribution would this be moving forward for?
This is should be adoption of the businesses, no? So that's why we tie up a lot of cloud provider now. We tie up in another solution for financing the banking industry. So example, just give you one sector, banking, the rural banks. If you can provide them a cloud solution, they just subscription. They don't need to spend any more for servers. They don't need to spend any more for IT people. So they just only subscribe to cloud, and you can operate because they are not compared with the universal bank, big ones. So you can help them transport right away. So this is one sector. So a lot of sectors follows, retails, all these pawn shops. You can give them a platform also. That's become hosted to you. They don't need to invest in any more infrastructure. They just only do subscription. This is the direction the first world country is happening. And I think this is we adapt. Sari-sari stores. You can do, how many sari-sari stores we have? We have close to 1 million sari-sari stores. Provide them an app, ordering, distribution, everything. They become a front line of the distribution of the consumer products. So this should be in the cloud already. So they don't need to invest. They just do subscription. So this is we generated more business. No, Singapore is we invested 2 cables, right? So one Inter-Asia, one is Bifrost from Singapore to US. So the reason why I put this in Singapore because our cable capacity is very big. In Philippines alone, it's only for my consumer and my enterprise. I still have many capacity access. I need to share this to the regional players. So that's why I set up an office there to sell it to the Asian countries. In fact, we have already few transactions already in Singapore. This is just only helping for investment of our capacity to recover earlier. That's why we put that. Singapore market is too tight already. Especially consumer, you cannot move. The population is so big. How many players they have? They have more than 5 players.
But are you still envisioning moving to other parts of Asia or maybe beyond?
More, once there's opportunity, especially in, I think I'm interested with big population area, and
Indonesia is one of them.
but you need to see the culture localized. It's totally different business. You just have strong partners.
Vietnam is also a strong growing.
Yeah. I think Indonesia is less penetrated.
Yeah,
You're right.
it's a bigger. It's like the Philippines.
More than bigger than Philippines. 22,000 islands at close to 300 million populations. I think we will nearly easily to 70-80%.
78% of
70 to
homes passed.
80% home pass. And maximization of the port should be higher. Because now it's only our utilization is not only 30%.
30% of
Yeah.
the 8 million cables?
Yes.
Okay.
So
8
imagine.
million ports, sorry.
Yeah.
So 8 million ports is just 30%.
Yeah.
If you maximize that, how many people, how many households will be connected to?
Depends of what I segmentize. The get higher better for the company, right? But I identify, that's why we need to create a product people can accept. Right? So I think easily coming years 50% or
Of utilization of the ports. But that every year still be installing new ports, right?
yes, the area we don't have, we need to extend. But the backbone already there and distribution.
At 70% home passed, how many ports are you talking about?
70% home pass is 25. That should be ports around 12,
12 million ports.
11 million, 10 to 10 million. Yeah.
10 to 11 million ports. Okay. Do you need to raise capital?
The company financial flow is very strong.
So you don't need to get another guy like Barber.
No, I don't think. There's a lot of infrastructure company want to. In fact, there's a lot of company interested with us. So I still keeping. Why I need to do another capital raise if company can handle it. So we're looking some on the future development. Maybe we can get some strategic partner together.
Strategic partners. But for specific projects, not
Yes.
not investing in Converge. So you're keeping. So what's the goal? Keep how many percent of?
Actually, the current the franchise is required us to have a free float for 30%, right? So it's already comply. Yeah, I holding close to me and my wife close to 68%.
Sir, every investor that buys a share in the stock market always dreams of the dividend. Will there? I know that there's no dividend policy yet, but are you crafting one? And when should investors expect to get the first dividend?
I think this is already discussed in the board already. No? So this year we just finished all this necessary capex. No? I think we are looking by possible next year. Maybe we should expect our investor have a return. No? That's our actually who is the most happy is me and my wife, right? So I make sure this company should be stable and everything. Capex is projected already, and I don't want to become lend the money, just give you away to the dividends. No, it's not the way I'm running the company. It should be generated from company itself, and I think we have a strong cash flow today, and you see our net profit on this is quite strong also. So we just want need to maintain that traction, and hopefully coming year, this year and next year, we make sure we have that dividend play we set up. In European countries, they have few companies do that. They have that already. The first exercise that is a KKR. They, in fact, a lot aside from KKR, there's so many infrastructure company interested In fact, I'm talking to 4 right now.
You are?
Yeah, they're approaching me. So I just want to understand what is the model is, right? So end of the day, if the company is not necessarily need a capital, I don't rush to do that because that's simple financial engineering. If you took looking at opportunity side, you know, that makes sense also because the infrastructure is built the entire country. You want to share to others, and you can cap out the infrastructure out, and your business is still there. No? But you open the competitions, fine. But end of the day, the infrastructure recovery, if you have 2 more operator right on your infrastructure, imagine how fast they turn the capex, right?
You spent how much in your assets?
I
in your
think
infrastructure?
our more than $2 billion already in our capex.
And that will just basically just change the income statement on your part, but it will still be like you still own the asset in terms of
Using it.
Usually, the infrastructure fund, they will buy it and you release back to them. You get the return of the amount of the percentage. Then when they lease to someone, you can get some upside also there. So that's the business model of sales and lease back. No? So that's the model in UK and some Spanish company.
but when you lease back, could you still build your own additional network?
Yes, because the franchise belongs to you, it's not belongs to the infrastructure company. As long as you need to expand the area you don't have, I think that should be you can build. But those who built already, why are you going to build? It is available already. You don't need to do capex more, and you share the capex to others.
But there are people who approach you. Obviously, you're a company that has this great model of a business. There are other companies. We know that Warburg has already cashed out.
Yes.
But are there other companies approaching you to partner with you?
I don't think I need a private equity company anymore because we already reached this point. And maybe the different business model, like infrastructure maybe, right? But equity is not the right business for us anymore.
It's more of strategic partnership.
Strategic partnership, yeah.
So what kind of businesses would require you to and would force you, maybe oblige you to get a strategic partner?
Actually, there's a lot of infrastructure fine. No? I just give you a sample. I-Square. I-Square bought Hutchison in Hong Kong. They are bidding for Hong Kong broadband also. They bought huge data center in Asia Pacific. And they bought GT, one of the US company, fiber. No? So they have also in Indonesia. So imagine they built the infrastructure surrounded the Asias. So if that direction is, and they will connected the whole Asia countries to one platform, that is another avenue we can looking at, right? So opportunities comes because you join force to the big ones, and you have already existing infrastructure, and that the business model, maybe we can do that also because you have upside.
But are you living your childhood dream? Did you ever dream that one day I'll be a billionaire?
Well, hindi ko naman pinagharapan yan. And ang gusto ko lang talaga, yung passion in terms of technology. Gusto ko talaga, updated ako lagi. No? Doon ako nag-enjoy. Money comes secondary. Nakataon nga, yung ginawa ko tama yung direction. Kaya lumaki yung pera, lumaki yung asset, lumaki yung numbers. But physically, hindi ko hawak.
Baka na kay Ma'am Grace.
Hindi tinawag ni Ma'am Grace.
If one of these guys come to you seeking advice on how to become, not become a billionaire, but to be successful in life, what would you tell them? What's the secret behind Dennis Ui's success?
You knowledgeable of what you're going to do, important. No? Like in my case, is tech. I should know the tech. No? If other people industry, they should deeper understand. To focus and do it at passion. So, when you passionate, hindi ka napapagod eh. So, ako nga, the whole, how many decade already in terms of technology. Bago matulog, yan iniisip ko, gising ko, iniisip ko. Wala naman ako, kung ano man ginagawa ko, I want to attend this technology show, I was updated. I want to do, passionate about what's the new in the industry.
So never put money beyond as the main goal.
Money will come later when you have a right path and have a right direction, and people will notice you, and they will put money on you. Very simple. You don't need to knock them. If they see you have a track record, you have a directions, especially in the field of this technology. Technology everyone knows, especially in the other countries, because they have deep experience on this.
What was the last country you visited for leisure? And why visit that country in the first place?
Leisure is not much. Usually, I combination business and leisure. Took few days to extend to see my family, especially in my daughters in US. So when I go to US, I have few meetings, but I make sure I visited my kids.
Ilan yung kids mo, sir?
I have three daughters.
Daughters?
Yeah.
Okay.
What would be the advice to them? Ano na ba sila? Colleges or?
The two graduated already.
Okay.
And they're working in US now. Mahirap nga, pinaaral mo sa magandang eskwela, hindi na uuwi mga yan eh. But my wife said, let them experience there and in due time.
Wala pa yung mga po.
Wala pa.
So, what was the last book that you've read, and what was the lesson that you took away from that book?
Honest to you, books, I'm not really look a lot of books. I always reading the technologies books. So, if you're talking about yung kay David Welch, no, ng transformation of technologies, he's from one of the Bell Labs in US. So, I still reading that, but yung transition, yung paano yung ginagawa yung mga future, tsaka yung how can access of the transformation of these things. Yung mga nag-i-interest ako doon sa mga books na yung binabasa ko. But in terms of technology development, yung mga doon ako nakafocus. But other books, honestly, hindi ako nagbabasa ng books. Wala na ako.
So, paano, sir, yun?
Are you a collector of anything na hindi related sa sa trabaho mo? Is there anything that you?
Usually, I love wines.
Oh, my.
So, I collect a lot of wines.
So, what's your favorite year? Or do you love work?
Actually, after my MWC this year, I went to Bordeaux. I went to Burgundy. So, because I have so many contacts also there. I got few good wines. Not necessarily expensive one, no? But you know the vineyard, you know, yeah. So, even Napa, I went a lot, no? So, you know, the most expensive wine in Napa is Steaming Eagle, right? Across of the vineyard is on one of the chairman of Fidelity. And the husband and wife know me very well. Every time I go there, they let me use the backyard and everything. That wine is not expensive, $150, but they're good wines. So you need to personally go there and taste and see it. No? So usually I collect these things.
Sa mga wine cellar ka? Or
Yes, sa bahay.
Sa bahay.
Sa office ko, meron.
Natutuwa yung mga mahilig sa wine yung mga. Are you a sportsman when you were young? And why? I'm just following this up. Why buy a PBA team?
Well, that's two things, no? One is the dream of my uncle. My uncle, Janice, yeah. He went up to Mika early 60s.
Really?
Yes, Janice Supermarkets and Mika team. You know who's the player? Atoyko, Gidaben.
The Crispa.
Yeah, but Christmas come later. The Mika is earlier.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Gidabe na to, Yoyo Martires. So,
that's my mother's favorite.
yeah.
Martinez.
You ask Yoyo, one time I asked him, when you still young, you basketball with my uncle. Yes, after our practice, I going to supermarket to put nababalo daw siya ng mga groceries. So, he still remember that. So, because that is passion. So, and because the Converge was really reaching the entire country, no? In Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. See, I know this basketball is love of the Filipino. Up to street level, the kids, they love basketball. That's I think it's our major sports. So that's the reason why I get bought from Alaska to have marketing spending for brand.
But you're still helping Governor Delta in the province for...
You know, governors is another passion man in terms of basketball. He's sabi ko sa iyo, siyang pinakakilala kong tao ng ang dami niyang ginagawa sa basketball from the kids, grade school days, high school. Meron nga siyang training dito every year, nagtatrain ng 500 na estudyante. Talagang sponsor niya. Then after that, tinan mo, ang dami niya na-produce ng magagandang player. Inemit, malalaki mga yan, di ba? So, the reason why I interest him because he have the passion on the basketball and he want to help me. Kasi I'm from Pampanga. And he's also very close to me. Sabi niya, boss, tulungan kita. Okay, why not? Ano yun? 1 peso a year lang consultancy doon. So, because I saw his passion. Kaya that's why, hindi naman ako ganun kalalim sa basketball. Compare him. Hindi niya lahat. Okay, support me, why not?
May bucket list ka ba, sir? And meron ka bang hindi nagagawa dun sa bucket list, no?
Well, maraming pa akong place gustong puntahan. No? Sabi ko nga, yung mga anak ko, naunahan pa ako . Dahil sa busy ko. Iceland. Isa yan. No? Yung
Aurora Borealis or something.
yung mga, yung Northern Lights. So, hindi ko na pupuntahan pa yan. Sabi na, maganda. No? So, my wife also, in one of the bucket list, the South America. So, yung mga lugar na hindi ko na pupuntahan. And, at my age now, sabi ko, I still love doing some nature, yung mga hikings. In fact, napuntahan ko na yung mga American Heights, sa Denver, all these things. And I want to looking some area like Nepal. Nepal, yung mga hikings daw. I heard it's very beautiful. So all this is still in my bucket list. So I usually go with my wife.
So are there any regrets in your life? And if you have to redo it, would you do things differently? May regrets ka bang...
I think day one itself, yun na nga, nasa tech na ako talaga . So, mahilig ako sa makalikot . So, na-passionate din ako about this happening of digital age now, no? So, I don't think, meron na akong mga regrets ko na nadaanan ko during the middle of transition of my cable days. Pumasok ako sa food industry, hindi ko naintindihan . Na-wipe out lahat yun. Imagine, sabi ng asawa ko, yun naman, ipon mo, inubos mo lahat. So, after binenta ko lahat yun, inside the clock. Pero bumalik ulit ako agad dito sa focus ko. Yan ang sinasabi ko, if you're not knowledgeable in the industry, huwag mahawakan. Kaya nakita mo, how many decades, dito lang ako sa sector na to. Adjacent or yung nearby, but not totally unique on this, knowledgeable. Mahirap. Meron yung adjustment niya para hindi siya lumalayo.
So, who is the biggest influence in your life?
You know, ever since, kaya ako naging entrepreneur, natutuwa ako sa uncle ko, di ba?
Si Tito Jan.
Doon naman ako, pinag-aral niya ako. Siya, lagi naman ako dinilecturean niya kung nakakabali ako, napapagalitan ako. So, tendency, nakita ko yung path niya . Is also like me, came here, nothing at all. And yung nakita mo na build niya yung empire niya, no? And naging matulungin din siya dito sa lugar na to. So, nakita ko naman yung he well respect in Kapampangan. Kaya sabi ko, kung dito ka sa Pampanga, pag sinabi mo Janice during our time, hindi ka taga dito kung hindi mo kilala yan.
Sigurado, kung nasa mo si Uncle Johnny, tuwan-tuwa siya ngayon.
Yeah.
Mas malaki ka na ngayon sa kanya. But, do you have any comfort food? Anything that you go to pagka yung medyo...
You know, lumaki ako dito, sa Pampanga, no? You know, our food is the best here, no?
Well,
So, kung makikita mo, papakainin ako sa mga 5-star hotel, sa mga ibang abroad, maalis ako eh. Hindi ako comfortable kumain sa mga high-end ng mga 5-star, yung mga seating ganito. Mas comfortable ba ako sa local foods?
Like what? Anong paborito mo?
Dito, meron na akong kakagat ng kambing.
Pagdilitang kambing.
Nakita mo? Tapos, etong huli pumunta kami ng Cebu. Eh, sabi ko kay Karen, make sure, sabi mo, paglutuin nila ako ng babakwa, ha?
Balbaka.
Make sure na meron ako native chicken. Yung native kasi matamis eh. So, yan ang mga tinitingnan ko pagkain. Hindi naman ako masyadong fancy things. Yan, gusto ko yung talagang totoong native.
Nagkakamay lang, gano'n.
Oo, okay lang ako dyan.
Alam na natin yung first work nyo is with Uncle Johnny, but gano'ng sweldo mo dun, sir? Nung una ka nagtrabaho,
Do you know-
anong una mong binili nung nagkasweldo ka na?
You know, ang pamasahe ko noon is, I think it's only 35 centavos eh. So, lahat naman, provided naman lahat. No? So, siguro binibigyan ako paminsan-minsan, magkano lang? 5, 10?
Pesos a day? That's a day? Or
No.
yun na yung buong ano?
Pag may abutan lang ako, ano. Pero hindi naman kami humingi ng sweldo kasi she provided the food. Nandun na kami lahat eh.
Sa bahay.
So, tapos, mami ko, tumutulong na konti ng siopaw. Gumagawa, nagbebenta sa canteen. So, yun, may konti income.
So, nung nagkapera ka na ng sarili, anong unang binili mo, sir?
Actually, nung unang binili ko nung nakanegosyo na ako ng konti, nabili ko yung box type ng Lancer, 1990.
Box type na Lancer.
Oh, yung L-shape.
Oo.
90,000 pa lang nun eh. Mura-mura na Lancer nun.
Bago na yun.
Oo.
Brand new eh.
Tapos unang nabili namin ng kuya ko, share pa kami. Saturn na makina ng owner.
Walang sa mga.
Oh, yung Saturn, di ba? Unang panahon, di ba? Saturn. Tapos may mags ka pa. Tapos yung ingay-ingay mo, papatakbo mo yung jeep.
Nakalagay kasi dun sa lagi, hindi ka founder eh. You're a co-founder of kakabit nun is si Ma'am Grace. So what's the advice? What would be the advice to people looking for a partner na makakatulong mo sa buhay? Ganun.
Actually, when I met my wife, no, so I said it's a perfect combination. Meron akong site ng wala ako, nang nandun sa asawa ko. So, kaya yung sa site naman meron ko, wala sa asawa ko. So, it makes it that's perfect combination to make we have today. One is, I'm in the tech site eh. So, kung kaano kagaling sa tech site, alam mo yung future, alam mo, end of the day, asawa ko accountant. So, she's work with IBM, a professional company which is multinational company. Meron habit, meron na siyang develop the culture of the corporation. And at the same time, alam niya yung control. Yung may control. Ako, loose ako eh. Loose ako talaga. So, everything sige, okay na yan. Siya structured. So, nahihila niya rin ako sa tama. No? Sometimes naman, may things ng decision fast. Style ko kasi, lumaki naman ako sa ganito, walang sistema din. Siyang naglagay ng sistema sa organization. Kaya nakita mo, perfect na perfect kami. Kaya nung pumasok na nung pinakasalan ko siya, I think we just have only cable company that time. And mga konting dial-up. And she helped me to grow. Put all this system. Family business before. Kung ano mga customer mo, kukunin niya, bibili something, wala man records. That's all traditional Chinese business. So now, we put the system very well. Yeah. So, yun ang perfect combination.
Pero ngayon, sir, ano pa yung gusto mong gawin? Sabi mo nga, ayaw mong humiwalay na sa ganitong negosyo. Pero sabi mo nga, babalikan ba yung food business or iba, wala na talaga? Talagang,
I think if you have asked me to have opportunity, I saw a lot of opportunity in this country. The food, basic agriculture segment, I travel a lot, no? And we need to put focus on this segment. This country will not be hungry. No one will be hungry here if you have proper system. Imagine you are gifted by anything you plant in your soil is grow. We have our entire natural resources. Mahirap din naman yung mga other country. 6 na buwan, they cannot plant at all because there's snow. Right? So, basic requirement here is the food security, which is our president is always emphasized. We need to make sure the reason why yung mga small farmer, we need to organize them. The small one cannot be scaled up. But we need to give them direction. Bakit yan naman yung Dole, Del Monte, in Davao? They can export huge because it's agro-industry. If you look in the agro-industry, this country will be not hungry.
but you're looking in that direction or no?
If I have opportunity, I will. But sana. Pero I don't think I still have, I'm more close to 57, 58. So it's not easy. I will more focus on my technology side. But in agriculture now is a lot involvement with technology now. What kind of technology you can bring? Israel nga, on top of the rock, nabubuhay yung mga fruit trees nila. Taiwan, you saw a lot of new technologies.
You mentioned, sir, your age, 57 now. In 3 years, you'll be a senior citizen.
Yes.
But you're not, no plans of retiring by then.
I think I'm slowly now a bit.
Slowing down.
I'm going to slow down a bit because the whole my life is already, maybe I just have put some succession, put some directions, and invest in the right industry can help our economy.
Okay. So,
At this early stage, you're already thinking of a succession plan for your business. So mag-enjoy ka na pagdating ka ng senior citizen ka na.
I think baka light ng konti.
light lang.
So walang retirement.
Well, kung magre-retire, mamaya maaga ako mag-Alzheimer, mas mahirap. Wala ka na ginagawa.
Sige, sir. Thank you sa oras nyo, and hopefully this won't be the last time that we will talk to you. And maybe with new ventures na.
Thank you. Thank you,
Sir.
Eric. Thank you.
Again, I am your host, Chris Laranio. If you enjoyed this series, please subscribe, leave a comment, and hit the notification bell so you could be updated on what is new on this channel. Thank you for watching.